Welcome to Built on Faith Homestead. My name is Justin, and today we're going to talk about perseverance. I don't want to have any illusions if you are thinking about living a similar lifestyle to what we're living. This week has been a good week, but it's also been a rough week, and things snowball and they get hard. And if you're not careful, if you're a type of person that, man, things really get to you like bad, this week would have got you down around here. I am a fairly optimistic person. Anybody that knows me very well could testify to that to you. Usually it's just kind of it is what it is type to me, or things are what they are. It's not the end of the world. Everything's okay. Just keep going. Everything will be fine. And usually better than what we think it will be. And there's a lot of truth to that, and I really believe that. However, let's recap the week for you real quick. The cows got in the corn at the beginning of the week. That was the second planting of that corn, by the way, because the first planting drowned because of all the rain we were getting. Then we weren't getting any rain, so I had to water that corn, and I had to water it almost every day. And it was about a foot high, finally. And the cows got out and ate the corn. Okay, not the end of the world. We can manage that. And then my wife wanted to do a dill pickle video, and I wanted her to do a dill pickle video because of this YouTube channel that I'll show you right now. We were able to find an amazing dill pickle recipe. And when I say amazing, I'm talking, I'm not a dill pickle guy, but these are amazing. We've made dill pickles in the past. It's not our first rodeo, as they say. It's not our first rodeo. And these dill pickles far exceed anything we'd ever made before. These are amazing dill pickles. Very, very good. So, she started making the video. And I was busy. I couldn't help. And she started recording on her phone and was doing an amazing job. And those of you that watch our channel know I do most of the recording. She was doing the recording and doing an amazing job and had a wonderful video. I was editing it for her. Had an amazing video made. Got it all edited. Those of you that don't know, we just record on our phone and edit it on a app called InShot. And then we have to save it to our phone, and then we can upload it to YouTube. We both have InShot on our phones. And so we recorded this 30-minute video. And her phone says it has not enough storage to save the video. The problem is, to save the video so we can upload it. The problem is her phone has way more storage than mine does. So how that's even possible, I don't know. But it will not save or upload to YouTube. So we can't show you guys that dill pickle video. Which, okay, 30-minute video, whatever. Yeah, but it takes a long time to record. And in that 30 minutes of recording, for us anyway, because we're not very good at all this, I'm assuming, there's way more than 30 minutes worth of content that you have to filter through, and we edit out, and we're still trying to figure out what to put out and what not to put out, and what to show and what not to show. And we edited the video on our phone. We were able to do all that, and we got nice little music to it and all kinds of stuff. And now it won't upload to YouTube because we can't save it. And then this morning I went out to feed our rabbits and chickens and stuff, and something has been getting into our tomatoes last night, and I had a couple of green tomato tops just laying in the walkway, and I got to looking, and there were several of the tomatoes, the bottoms of them have been eaten off. It may be the chickens pecking at them. Usually chickens, at least what I've seen in our own garden and our own chickens, is they didn't mess with them until they were red, and then they would peck them, but not until they were red. So something got after them, whether it be the chickens or something else. My wife just happened to have one of those tinfoil casserole dish things that you might have seen at like lots of church events and stuff. We usually don't have them. I don't know why she had one, but she just happened to have one. So I poked a hole in it with a pocket knife, and I hung it on our tomato fencing and let the wind make a racket with it, and hopefully it'll keep any critters away. I may even sit out here tonight, and if there's a critter that comes up, if it's not the chickens and another critter comes, I assume he'll be back tonight because I've not seen them tomatoes messed with until today. And so if he comes back tonight, he might get lead poisoning. I don't know. We'll see. He will get lead poisoning if it's up to me. Whatever it is, will happen to have too much lead in his system, if you catch my drift. And so we we got some tomatoes that got ate. And that's only after getting the tomato plants to rebound, because we had them tomato worms so bad earlier this year. Yeah, I couldn't believe how I've never seen tomato plants get those worms that bad. Them great big green ones with the horn on them. I've never seen tomato plants get attacked that bad by them. And then I harvested our potatoes and I overwatered them. I made a huge mistake and I overwatered them. And so we only got 70 pounds of potatoes off of 50 pounds of seed potatoes, which isn't very good. I mean, it's whatever. It's good. We got enough potatoes for us, but it's not nearly the yield we should have gotten from them. Our beets, it got too hot and all that good stuff, and we didn't get a good harvest off of them. Everybody's garden's struggling this year because of the drought, and I understand that. The dry weather, it is what it is. But you understand how this week for us, this week, it is just kind of every day there's been something that has impacted our day fairly significantly, like day after day after day after day after day. And you can take one or two of those on the chin pretty good, but man, once it snowballs into 4 or 5, right, it starts to get frustrating. And the truth of the matter is, oh, and while she's making the dill pickles, I forgot, while she was making the dill pickles, one of our jars broke. Now, those jars can break by letting them get too cool while you're filling them or whatever, and then putting them back in that hot water, and they can break that way. That's not what happened though. We've done that before. We've made those mistakes before, and we have changed the way that we can to make that not happen, to keep that from happening. Hasn't happened to us in a long, long time. I think that jar probably had a hairline fracture that we didn't see, or just didn't notice anyway, probably from moving. We went through the whole process and got everything canned, and it went through the water bath pickling process, that canning part of the process, lifted the lid, and there was a jar floating in there, and our whole water was turmeric colored, which means we're gonna have some turmeric colored lids in the future, which isn't the end of the world. That's not a big problem, but we still lost an entire quart of dill pickles. That kind of stuff, man, it can snowball, and it can be frustrating, and it can be aggravating, and it can make days like today where every little minuscule thing just makes you more mad and more frustrated and more aggravated. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, just don't get mad, it'll be okay, it's all right. I'm not going to do that to you, because that's ignorant. It's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to get mad about that kind of stuff. It really is okay. If you didn't get aggravated about it, you wouldn't try to find ways to fix it, more than likely, right? So we are finding ways to fix what happened to us, right? I've thought about the potato tower a lot. I've got some solutions I think will work good for next year. I've already said wherever we plant our corn, whether it be back here or in a different spot, I'm just gonna hot wire the corn off. Like, just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm just gonna hot wire the corn off. I'm preparing this fall, in winter, late fall, early winter, we'll start preparing the ground back here for next year's garden by allowing our chickens and our rabbits and stuff to fertilize that and to build that dirt in better back there, right? So you learn from those things. You don't just sweep them under the rug like they don't happen. But when I say persevere, like, sometimes you're just going to have to put your head down and do the best you can with what you got, and it may not be as much as you think, but here's what I do know. I know one time Jesus was teaching a bunch of people, and they had followed him out into this wilderness type land, and there was a whole bunch of them, and Jesus said, we got to feed these people. And they said, listen, we don't have nothing but a couple of fish and some bread. And Jesus blessed that food, and by the time it was done, they had fed like 4,000 people, and they had like something like 12 baskets of leftovers. And so I know it's going to be okay. I'm not saying that. I know it will be. But what I am saying is, sometimes you have to learn to work with the few loaves of bread and a couple of fish. You don't give up, you don't quit, you don't look at the loaves of bread and the fish and go, well, it's just not enough and it's not going to work. You put your head down and you just keep going, and you just keep doing, and you just don't give up, and you don't quit. You have a certain amount, I like the word tenacity, right? You have a certain amount of tenacity and relentlessness about you where you refuse to give up. You refuse to quit. Now, all that being said, I do believe there are times, and I want to be very, very clear. If you're watching this video and you have something fighting you and you're like, this is the video to encourage me, this is a sign from God, I'm going to tell you this. I won't claim that this is a sign from God. Sometimes God allows things to fall apart so that we'll quit doing them, so that we learn that that's not where God wants us. And that's something you need to learn and discern for yourself. However, other times, Satan will fight what you're doing with everything that he has, especially if you're doing the things God wants you to do. And so you have to learn to put your head down and just keep going and to not give up. You have to learn to persevere. You have to learn to not throw your hands up and say, I'm done with this. I ain't doing it no more. Because here's the deal, right? And you guys all know this. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. Life is frustrating. Life is hard. Life is aggravating. Can I tell you something I get aggravated about as a grumpy 30-something-year-old man? I'm aggravated that almost every gas station I have to go to, I have to pay at the pump nowadays. That aggravates me. I want to be able to go inside and pay with cash for my gasoline. Most places don't let you do that no more. Even places that used to don't anymore. Because, right, too many drive-offs and all those kinds of things. But it frustrates me because I don't know how much I don't know, right? Gas prices are always changing. I can roundabout guess you, right? I'm gonna put $35 in. But it may cost $37 to fill the tank. It may cost $33 to fill the tank. Like, I just want to fill the tank the rest of the way up, right? I got a half a tank and I just want to fill it up, and I don't know exactly what it's going to cost. I just want to fill it up. Just if I could just fill it up at the tank, and if I could just fill it up at the pump, and then I can come in and pay you, that would be great. That's how this transaction worked for years, right? Can we just do that? No, not anymore. Self-checkouts drive me bonkers. You want to know why they drive me bonkers? Because I don't get an employee discount for checking myself out at the grocery store. Not only do I not get an employee discount, but whoever's managing those 4 or 5 self-checkouts probably isn't getting manager's pay for managing those 4 or 5 self-checkouts. And on top of that, that's people's jobs that are being taken away by technology. And I understand why. And you're going to preach to me all day long about, we can make product cheaper and all this kind of stuff because these things never call in sick and you don't have to put insurance on them and all that. That's great. That's great in theory. But let me ask you this. Is the product any cheaper? No, it's not any cheaper. They don't care about none of that. There's pat in the pocket, which I understand. I'm not saying you can't make money. I'm not against you making money. It's frustrating that you're making a ribeye steak dinner at my expense. So that's frustrating a little bit. So I don't like self-checkouts. Those kinds of things aggravate me. Should they aggravate me? Probably not, but they do. Things are aggravating. I don't know why life has to be so complicated sometimes. It shouldn't have to be this complicated. It's ridiculous that it's this complicated. It is absolutely insane that life is as complicated as it is. But it is. And it's nobody's fault but our own. We've made it complicated. We've made it hard on ourselves. However, you do need to learn to persevere. You need to learn to put your head down, work hard, and trust that whatever you get out of it, the Lord will bless that enough to take care of you in the long run. Guys, thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. This is your Saturday talk, if you will. We'll catch you guys next time.